It's day one of the Oshkosh Experimental Aircraft Association Fly-In Convention, known as AirVenture. We're looking at the original Oshkosh Gate, which up to this year was where you walk through to enter the show area. And they've moved it to the flight line, made it sort of a memorial garden. You can buy these bricks and have a message for yourself or somebody you loved or your company out here. They've also, a member has apparently donated hundreds of park benches like you see these folks sitting on, which is, we really appreciate that guy, because if you have any problem walking, Oshkosh can be a pretty taxing deal because there's not a whole lot of places to sit, and most of the places to sit, somebody's sitting in it if you don't bring your own chair. So you got to be willing to stand and walk a lot here, and putting these park benches everywhere, several hundred of them, is really going to make the show a lot more pleasant. So thanks to the EAA member who donated those. So I've been to two forums this morning. I went to one on Concorde operations, conducted by a former Concorde training captain, and then one on SR-71 operations, conducted by a former SR-71 wing commander. Both very interesting looks into flying large airplanes at high speeds. And now I'm waiting for White Knight 2 to arrive in about an hour. I'm going to try to forage for food, which is always a challenge here. And a challenge to find edible food and then afford it if you find it. Maybe I'll stop and take a few pictures while I'm out and about. It's a little bit of drizzle coming down now. Now that I took my 35mm camera out of the bag, and immediately started drizzling. Oh well. So I'm going to walk around Oshkosh some. This is Jim, and I live in Texas. Here's a terrific innovation as part of the grounds upgrade. They've done a major upgrade of the grounds here. And one of the things that's really nice is, in addition to more porta potties of the traditional kind, they've got a number of these Kohler VIP level restrooms available, and at least a few of them are available for the general public. There is a class system here at Oshkosh. The lowest member of the class is somebody like me who just paid a ticket and came in. As you go up, some people can drive on the flight line. They're higher class, and or you can ride a Gator or ATV or a scooter. And the highest class of people get these converted Volkswagens that they've made into kind of convertible Volkswagen Bugs. Those belong to the real elite. So there is a class system here, and this one is obviously marked off just for people who are eligible to go into that VIP tent there, which certainly isn't me. But they have a couple of these that maybe inadvertently, but anyway, I've found that they're letting the general public use too, so that's really nice of them. Well, they've set up the stage on Aeroshell Square for the Doobie Brothers. They usually have a concert. Jimmy Buffett's played here. I think that the last time I was here, the Beach Boys played. But there's something here in Aeroshell Square that excites me a lot more than a bunch of 70-year-old rock stars. And God bless them, I hope I could sing still as agile as those guys are when I'm 70, but which is what, next week? I don't know. No, a little further than that. But over here, let's look at what's on the other side of the Ford Tri-Motor here. Something really exciting. Well, file this on the category of something you don't see every day. Here in Aeroshell Square, they have on display what I believe to be the last flying Avro Lancaster. For those of you who aren't students of aviation history or military history, these airplanes were produced, many thousands of them, during World War II, and they were operated by the British and Canadian forces. I believe this one is Canadian, and they flew heavy loads of bombs at night into Germany for most of the last 2.5–3 years of World War II. The crews took gigantic losses. It's powered by 4 Merlin engines, the same engine as in the Spitfire. It's carried a much heavier bomb load than a B-17, which is our B-24s that we used on the American side, because we bombed in daylight and we had to carry a lot of machine gunners to protect ourselves. British and the Canadians bombed at night, so see, they only had 2 defensive gunners, maybe 3, maybe 1 in the nose, as opposed to the 5 or 6 on a B-17. I think even more than that, because they were primarily night bombers. This is very maneuverable for a large airplane. Really did yeoman work during World War II. The crews who flew them were real heroes, and I'm real tickled. I have not seen one of these close up before, except in museums. Not one that could fly that this one flew in. So I'm very tickled to see this airplane here. Well, we got to look at the white knight before I put the camera away. It's a pretty good sized thunderstorm. So we're all going to be drowning in like rats here in just a minute. I don't think there's going to be much of an air show today. So here comes some formation airplanes. I'm hoping that they'll pull white knight through here so I can see it before the rain hits.